This picture gives information about beverage sales. In the picture, the biggest proportion is Monster, which is about 800,000 units, and the smallest proportion is Starbucks, which is about 200,000 units. In the picture, there are minimum and maximum 400,000 and 600,000 units. In conclusion, this picture is about beverage sales.
This bar graph represents the total number of sales for different beverages, including Pepsi, Starbucks, and Red Bull. First, similarly, Pepsi, Red Bull, and Monster had the highest beverage sales of more than 800,000 units sold each. This was followed by Lipton with 600,000 of units sold. On the other hand, Starbucks ranks the lowest, having only 200,000 of units sold. In conclusion, the beverage sales across different beverages brands vary significantly.
This image shows a bar chart. This bar chart focuses on beverage sales. The items include Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Starbucks, and Red Bull. The highest value is for Monster, which is around 800,000, and the lowest value is for Starbucks, which is around 200,000. On the other hand, I can see different colors such as red, blue, green, purple, and orange. To sum up, this bar chart is trying to tell us about beverage sales.
The image provided is a bar graph that gives information about beverage sales. X-axis shows about brands, while the y-axis shows about sales in units. Monster has the highest number, which is more than 800,000. The value for Lipton is higher, followed by Coca-Cola and Sprite, which is around 6,100,000. The lowest value is in Starbucks, just below than 20,000.
This picture gives information about beverage sales, including Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and Starbucks. The largest element of the picture is 1800,000, which is included Coca-Cola. Conversely, the smallest element is 200,000, which is related to Starbucks. Furthermore, the second largest element of the picture is 600,000, which is related to Pepsi. Overall, beverage sales shows fluctuations.
This bar chart gives information about beverage sales. From the picture, we can see sales of Nestle and 2,100 for Coca-Cola is sale is higher, which is 300,000. The highest value is for Monster, around more than 800,000, and the lowest one is for Starbucks, below the 200,000. There are also many other beverages brands such as Sprite, Lipton, and Red Bull. To sum up, the graph tells about beverage sales.
This picture gives information about the beverage sales. According to the image, we can clearly identify the fact that the highest figure for Red Bull can be definitely seen in 800,000, and noticeable is the fact that the second highest figure for Gatorade, which is around 600,000. In conclusion, beverage sales can be definitely seen in Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Starbucks, Red Bull, Gatorade.
In this bar graph, we saw the beverage sales across the different types of brands. We saw the Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Starbucks, Red Bull, Monster, and Atlas Sprite. Moreover, in this bar graph, we also saw the sales unit, which has started from 200,000 million, 400,000 million, and Atlas 800,000 millions. Moreover, the highest beverage sales was the Red Bull, which is nearby the 800,000 millions, and lowest was the Starbucks, which has only 200,000 millions. Moreover, in this bar graph marked by the different types of colors such as yellow, green, blue, and red also. In conclusion, in this bar graph clearly demonstration about the beverage sales.
This bar graph provides more information about beverages sales across different brands. Pepsi and Red Bull are selling at the same rate, which is around 80%. Coming to the Coca-Cola and the Tropicana, which has the preservatives, so the preference to this is very less, so the sales also very less. On Monster and Lipton, the tea lovers they are going with these options, which is the highest sales when compared to the other beverages. This is providing more information about beverage sales across the different brands and color coded with the different colors.
Beverage sales was the main topic of the image. Firstly, sales and units was on left side and brands was on right side of the picture. Coca-Cola was also highlighted. Pepsi was also mentioned in the picture, and Red Bull was also highlighted. Tropican was also mentioned in the picture. Lipton was also highlighted. Sprite was first element, and nutrients was second element, and molecular and Coca-Cola was third element. The highest range is Sprite, which is 80,000, and the lowest range is Coca-Cola, which is 20,000 lakh.
The bar graph gives information about beverage sales. In the x-axis there are different brands, while in the y-axis there is sales which is expressed in unit. And among all of these brands, Red Bull and Monster are the one whose beverage sales is the highest among all, and the People is the one whose beverage sales is the second highest. And among all of these, Starbucks is the one whose beverage sales is the least among all. And overall it gives information about beverage sales, and it was very informative.
The image describes vital information about beverage sales. Moreover, here we can see a bar chart is given over here with colorful lines. Apart from that, from the picture, we can describe that there are two different categories mentioned as sales in units and different Pepsi and different beverages. Here, there are different beverages are mentioned as a Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Starbucks, Red Bull, etc. Apart from that, from the image, we can describe the highest elements are having Pepsi and Red Bull. Moreover, we can see in the lowest element that Starbucks is having actually.
This bar chart gives information about beverage sales. It also shows different objects such as 200,000 and 400,000. The highest number is 900,000, which is related to Monster. However, the lowest number is around 200,000, which is related to Starbucks. The vertical axis is sales, however, the horizontal axis is brand. By the picture, there are different colors, such as purple and red. The connection between Coca-Cola and Pepsi are so important. Finally, I can see Red Bull and Monster.
This given bar graph gives information about beverage sales. There are many elements in this bar graph. From this bar graph, I can say that the highest value, that is Monster and Pepsi, which is indicated by 8,100. Now the second highest value, that is Red Bull and Coca-Cola, which is indicated by 4,100. If we talk about the lowest value, that is Nestle, which is indicated by Sprite and the Monster and the Red Bulls. In conclusion, there are some colors in this bar graph such as red, black, blue, yellow, and many more. In conclusion, this bar graph is very informative and knowledgeable.
The image provided is a bar graph, and it gives information about beverage sales, with the x-axis representing the brand, while x is representing the sales in units. Firstly, it is clear that Pepsi has got the highest units being sold of over 800,000 units, while Starbucks has got the least units being sold of less than 200,000 units. And in conclusion, we can safely say that Pepsi has got the highest number of units being sold of over 800,000 units, while Starbucks has got the least units of over less than 200,000 units.